Drum slingers in the room, hide and wait, sucker.
Here we are, first race on the 2022 base V4, and I haven't even practiced the launch yet, so this is the first launch I've ever done, and I've made a bit of a mistake, and I've gone super aggressive on the launch and just like nearly stalled it, but got it away. Just like now, just obviously I'm starting quite far back, 19th, but I'm in a good place on the outside, so I'm going to try and work through here, and I'm excited about riding this bike. Obviously the melee at the beginning when you're in the mid-pack and you're just seeing Matt Waldron taking a knock there and going down, that is bad news. But the race must go on, and we're off, and so nice to be back on the bike with a good setup after my disaster in qualifying this morning when I went the wrong way with the shock setting, and the bike, you couldn't go to full throttle, it was diabolical, and I was like, this is exactly what happened at the last race. I just had a worse qualifying, but this race is coming to me and I'm enjoying it, I'm feeling confident. This bike is going awesomely well. This guy in front of us is, he's a fast rider. I think he's set the fastest first sector of the race, so I don't know how I got past him. Well, I do, because you see him here, he just runs, gets sucked in, he runs a bit wide, I nip around the outside of him and I made the most of that. And then, you know, look, he's ahead of me in the race tomorrow. You know, I would love to follow him through sector 1 because he's about 2 seconds quicker than me. He was rapid. First time on a 1000cc bike this weekend, so good work him. So I know I should be maybe a bit quicker than these guys, so I qualified out of position, so just to get my head down, get into this race, try and get past these guys and try and get past them cleanly. I've got a brand new tyre and I'm trying the K0 Metzer rear, and so far it's going great. We've got the Racer dash display on, so you can see what's happening with the electronics. And what surprised me was the traction control is on so much, and the wheelie control is barely on at all, and it's like, you know, a bumpy hilly circuit, it's a grunty bike, but you know, it's handling sweetly. I'm so happy with the handling. The shock absorber, the new Maxxis shock absorber in this weekend feels mega. I am loving it. Just, you know, I spoke to Richard from Maxxis, the owner of the company, when I got it last week, and he just said, you know, you can go to here, you can go to there on the settings. It comes with a sort of a base average setup, but he said, you know, you can go to these points, and so I just took the gamble and went straight to them, rather than sort of progressively working on them. And it's just worked really well, that shock. I'm really liking it, really happy. And I've got the stock shower forks in, or shower, whatever you want to pronounce them, and they're working a treat. I've got so much, the front is so good on the bike. I've still got to get my full confidence in it. Oh, that's a nice move here. Now this is going to be, I'm committed to overtaking this guy around the outside, and you just saw that, I just clipped him 130 miles an hour up that hill. It is fast and bumpy. I was shitting myself after I clipped him. I was just like, shit, has he gone off? Fuck, you know, what do you do? You know, it's just a racing incident. He was on his line, I was trying to go around the outside of him, and as I came round, you just have to go over to the right there, there's a line on that corner, and we just touched. So my forearm hit his handlebar. I guess luckily the speed was high, so the gyroscopic effect of the wheels and all that, you know, he stayed on. I went and said sorry to him afterwards, and he was like, mate, he shut himself, he stayed on, he just opened the throttle and the bike stayed going upright, so well done him. So now the front group has got away from us. We're just catching up with a few of these riders now, and but you can see, so we're in the paddock and there's a 2-stroke 500 2-stroke that's been warming up right outside the van. So I'm just trying to progress here, still trying to do my best, just trying to get in the bike, just do some good laps. I want to clear this guy, and it's just, you got to do it safely at a good point. Are we going to get him here? I'm not sure, but no, we're not. There's no one in front of us now, it's just clear track after they've gone away. And we're going to try and clear this guy. We're having a good it's really good when you got someone like this just around the same speed as you. Where he's a bit quicker than me, it really encourages you to get a bit quicker there. And then here I'm just going to be brave around the outside and then into the inside of this turn. And now, obviously, I want to keep him behind, but there's no one in front of me. I'm just get my head down and I'm going to just get into this bike. It's great to have this opportunity to get some clear laps at once on the bike, really stretch the throttle cables and get into it. And what I'm going to do though, I'm going to speed up the next few laps because it's just me getting around in circles, don't track. But as you're going to see, that group that have cleared off, they're going to come back onto the horizon, and it's the classic carrot being dangled, and it's brilliant because your mindset changes a bit. You start focusing on them rather than your bike, and it really helps you actually build the confidence in the bike. You know the bike can do it, and the bike was rock solid all race, not a bit of movement out of it, probably because of that traction control is a bit over the top. But you know, the last lap on my lap time I did 42.8, and my PB did 42.5 or 42.6 on the BMW, and I had an ideal of a 42.4. So this is the first race of this bike, and I'm on PB pace already, which is really cool. And I'm super pumped and loving this bike. And you see, I'm just like, it's laps and laps. I've got no one in front of me. I just got my head down. Every lap I'm going a bit quicker, and we're going to come out of this speeded up footage in a second, and then we're going to try and get into the riders in front of us. And the riders in front of us are good riders. You've got Peter Baker, who's won the championship, Nicky Wilson, he's usually top 5, and you know, normally I don't hold a candle to him. And you've got Martin Norris in there, he's doing really well on his BMW. So to get back at those guys, there you can just see them coming in now. So to get back into those guys anyway, I'm pretty stoked with myself. And we are, there they are, we're just putting them in now. And if, oh no, that's back marker. But there you go, they're the group in front of us. That must be 6, 7, 8, 9, and that guy's had a technical problem by the looks of it, so he's out. So yeah, I'm in 9th at the moment, so you've got 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th. So that's pretty cool to get back to that group. And I think if we'd have had maybe another lap, we might have got to the front of it, because my fastest 3 laps of the race for me were my last 3 laps, so I was getting quicker. And those guys, I think, had, you know, put all their effort in at the beginning, and they came back to me basically, I think. So there you go, you've got Nicky, Peter and Martin, and I think this might be the last lap as well, so we need to, yeah, this is the last lap, so these are the last half lap now. I've got it, I can't just tack onto the back of them and sit here, I've got to get onto them and get past, no messing about. And I don't even know where I'm quicker than them, you know, I've just got to take an opportunity if it comes to me, and we don't have much of a track left now, maybe 4 corners maximum, and this is getting fast up here. I seem to be a bit stronger than Nicky, so now I'm here, I'm going to commit to this, around the outside, on the inside for the next turn, and now I'm like, can I get to those guys? And I got a good run here despite compromised entry, because I did the overtake. And I'm pulling them in down this straight, I'm pulling them in, and then I'm thinking, oh, maybe they could push each other wide here, and I'm just going to try my best to maybe get past on the line, and we're on them, but we didn't quite make it. But I was fucking pumped at the end of that race. That was the best I've ever been on a bike. 0.4 off my PB, fully stoked, loving this bike.